This video was never supposed to exist. I had a completely different plan. But then, the divine stepped in and changed everything. And I mean everything. This isn't just a story about Kentucky. This is a story about listening when God says go, and honoring the people who shape our path, and discovering that the road was always holy ground. So stay with me, because what happened next, I couldn't have scripted if I tried. If you've ever felt like life rerouted you for a reason, this one's for you. There's something beautifully unpredictable about being divinely led. Every time I think I know what a video I'm going to edit and post, the divine gently reroutes me. After a soul-to-soul conversation with my higher self, the unmistakable nudge to pivot to sharing a road adventure through the bluegrass state. So buckle up, because we're taking a backroad adventure to Kentucky. And for full transparency, I started this journey in the volunteer state. And yes, I saw a lot of grass, but not a single blade of it was blue. Still waiting on that mystery to be solved. Kentucky is made up of 417 small towns, each under 20,000 people. And the one calling my soul was tiny town Coldwater, Kentucky. Actually, it was even smaller than a tiny town, as according to the U.S. Census, this unincorporated town, which got its name from the cold, fresh, and supposedly healing springs, yes, healing, that caught my attention, and its population is not even listed anywhere I could find. But the whole dang county of Callaway County, where Coldwater, Kentucky is located, has a population of 39,000. Coldwater was founded in 1840. By 1856, they had a post office. My route? Pure country roads, Kentucky back roads with soul, and though I mostly avoid highways, this time I crossed the Tennessee River on Interstate 24, and that moment brought back a core memory. As a child, I was terrified of bridges, concrete structures filled with cars, people, and way too much trust. Every time we crossed the George Washington Bridge to New Jersey or the Whitestone Bridge to New England, I wore a life vest. A real one. A Christmas gift from my parents that became my ultimate source of safety. Like every video I create, there's a deeper reason I was led here. I don't go to just film, I go to pay homage to the people and the places that have touched my life in a sacred, unforgettable ways. So why Coldwater? Because once upon a time, the divine led me to two beautiful souls, Brother and Sister Hoover. I first met Brother and Sister Hoover at the Cypress Church of Christ in Cypress, California, right there on Walker Street. I didn't know it then, but that meeting would reroute my entire understanding what spiritual connection could look like. Later, when my parents relocated from the frosty winters of Long Island to the sunshine of Fountain Hills, Arizona, population 6,000, the divine kept weaving its thread. Because guess who I found preaching in Phoenix? Brother Hoover again, this time at the Southwest Church of Christ. Every time I visited Arizona, I'd visit him and Sister Hoover, sometimes with my mom beside me, and it always felt like coming home. And the synchronicities didn't stop there. The current preacher of that Phoenix congregation, John Rowe, and his wife Raz, they were the very couple who once led the Upland Church of Christ in California, the same church that generously offered me their space free of charge when I was just beginning my journey in faith-based filmmaking. Divine alignment? Divine alignment? Absolutely! Over time, Brother and Sister Hoover became more than spiritual mentors. They became part of our family. They visited Fountain Hills, Arizona many times. We shared laughter, soul talks, and quiet moments I'll treasure forever. These weren't just Sunday friends, they were everyday blessings. Even in my filmmaking days, they showed up. Brother Hoover once met several actors from my early film ministry, offering encouragement, presence, and that unmistakable warmth. I'll never forget how kind he was to everyone. No spotlight needed, just presence, just purpose, just love. Brother Kenneth Hoover was a gospel preacher who began ministering at just 14 years old. He spent 63 years spreading love, kindness, and truth across America and the world. He truly never met a person he didn't like. He was born in Calvert City, Kentucky, population 2,517. Just a few months after my mother transitioned back into the spiritual realm, Brother Hoover returned home to spirit too. But before that final goodbye, I had the sacred blessing of seeing him once more at his home church in Thurmont, Maryland, population 6,308. In that moment, I felt the same love I always did, a love that doesn't end with this lifetime, a love that reminds me God still walks these roads in the people who loved us well. We all shed the vessel eventually, but what remains is legacy, love, and impact. And if you ever felt that quiet nudge to take the long way home, to skip class or work, to turn right instead of left, only to find out later it changed everything, then you already know. That's what it means to be divinely led. The essence of the divine within us is always speaking, guiding our path every single second of every single day. If only we had the courage to listen, to trust, and to follow. That's what real faith is. And Brother Hoover didn't just talk about it. He lived it every day, never wavering, just knowing. If Brother or Sister Hoover were still on this side of life, we'd be laughing until our cheeks ached, savoring our famous 6-cheese grilled cheese sandwiches with a side of my homemade yogurt and a drizzle of maple syrup, like some sacred family recipe passed down from spirit itself. We'd take those long, soul-cleansing walks down the Gettysburg Trail, not needing to say much, just feeling the presence of love all around us. Not the kind of love that fades or flutters, but the kind that roots deep and reminds you why you're alive in the first place. Before and after every sermon, Brother Hoover would speak the words he lived by, not just a line, but a lifelong conviction edged into his heart. It's the greatest thing in the world to be a Christian. It wasn't just a motto, it was the way he moved through life, with love, purpose, and unwavering faith. It was on his business cards, spoken in every sermon, and now etched into his gravestone. While my own spiritual path has evolved beyond organized religion, I still deeply honor the way his faith moved him, and the love he shared so freely with everyone he met. That's why I drove 145 miles from Portland, Tennessee, population 13,651, the volunteer state, through the rolling hills and wild roads of Kentucky. Routes 80, 121, 94, 61, and the sacred slowness of County Road 62. Every twist, every bend, every blade of grass. I didn't rush. I breathed. I drove slowly on purpose to feel the road and hear the voice within, because that's where the divine often speaks loudest, in stillness, in silence, in the in-between moments of movement. And maybe you felt it too. When God speaks not to you, but through you. You're not writing, you're channeling. You're not driving, you're being led. That's what happened here. That's what always happens when I surrender the plan and follow the whisper of spirit. Brother Hoover loved when I called him my adopted grandfather, and I lit up every time he called me his granddaughter. We shared that special kind of bond, the kind that isn't bound by blood, but by spirit. He believed with his whole heart that the God within us is powerful enough to move mountains. He didn't doubt. He didn't complain. He didn't check the calendar or second guess the prayer. He just knew that every desire was already answered. Sometimes I wonder if we even understand the magnitude of the spirit that so many call God. Do we even understand it? God. I call it source energy. My awareness, the field of love we all come from and return to. I've never known anyone who connected to the energy every single day without fear, without bitterness, and lives more joyfully than Brother Hoover. This is my first video from Kentucky, and I can't think of a better way to begin than to honor the life, the legacy, and the love of Brother Charles Kenneth Hoover. To Sister Carolyn Hoover, thank you for making a part of my life a deeply sacred experience, for showing me what a spiritual love story looks like in real time. From Cypress, California, to Southwest Phoenix, Arizona, to the rolling hills of Maryland and Kentucky, your journey left a mark on my soul. To anyone watching this isn't just a story, it's a prompt. Live fully, love deeply. Let the divine lead you, even when you don't understand the map. Because at the end of the road, when we shed this vessel and return home, what remains is how well we listened to the God within. Thank you, Brother and Sister Hoover. You helped shape the path I walk today. Your love still lingers on these roads with me. You are loved, you are remembered, you are eternal. So, if someone like Brother or Sister Hoover ever walked part of your journey, if someone's love still echoes in your soul, tell me the names in the comments. Let's honor them together, because love like that was never meant to be forgotten. And if you feel the divine nudging you to take a new road, maybe this is your sign. Don't wait for the map. Just follow the whisper.